Play soft cars. Yeah, because a lot of them can't handle the dying and all of that, but where do you get your thrill in the game if you can just run around and not have to worry about taking care of your character? Play soft cars. Yeah, because a lot of them can't handle the dying and all of that. Okay. Oh my god, we do actually have other people.
There's people.
More naked old dudes. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm agreeing with you. Which is what I keep saying. Is this the way to the sauna? I need a Schweppes.
Seek the fallen.
Oh my god. This should be on hard, not normals.
Well, why didn't you change it?
I don't know.
Will Capo smiled.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates. You'll find Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
It's not hard enough. Leave game. Goodbye, random stranger.
Well, I can't leave. Well, I guess leave game and party.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Unless you're gonna pull me out too.
That's what I did.
No. Man, this is all stuff that we probably should have done before pressing the
Maybe.
start streaming button.
Maybe. Maybe yes.
This time it'll be different.
Boink.
Wait, it's been a while. How do you... Oh,
Game
here we go.
settings.
Game settings.
Yeah.
Campaign? Yeah, let's just do the storyline.
Sure.
Hard or expert? Real question.
Uh,
Hard. Probably hard. If we do expert, we're gonna get killed.
no, we're not. I'm not.
Okay, I am.
It'll be fine.
Will I, though? That would just be embarrassing.
Reeks of death.
Nah. Thanks, random car.
Who is...
Thanks, car.
Random person, yeah.
I love it.
There was a car just in your house for a second.
Yeah, you drove by my bed.
Yeah. This has to be like the most awkward start. I keep lowering my sound, but it's not really doing anything.
Yep. I don't know why. You should probably fight some undead. Mandus, he's back!
It's not even everything, it's just the effects. There you go. Because I like the music. The music is fine.
Guards, open the gates. You'll find Leah at the
Guards,
Slaughtered
open
Calf
the
Inn.
gates. Down. Effects.
Zakharum has fallen
Do,
to
do, do,
disgrace.
do, 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 do. Go in here. Go up here.
Are you
Get
Leah?
this book.
More fury.
I guess if Leah was in the actual other story,
This is
like,
killing.
The dead.
people might
Yeah,
have cared
too.
more about her.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you're not
I mean,
going the right way.
that's what was weird to me. Like, Deckard Cain is walking around talking and everything, like,
Deckard is still missing.
you know, like he's known Leah his whole life, and yet,
I tell them not to lose
conveniently,
faith, but if help doesn't
there was
arrive
absolutely
soon,
no mention of her anywhere whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Step, 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 step,
How
step.
can I help?
Da-da-da-da-da.
I need fury.
There. That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more
Thick
of them in the
sash.
ruins down the road.
It's so thick. Mandus, yeah.
He was the guy in the last game.
Yeah.
A fanboy stalker.
call back.
Rampant strength.
Just the very first time somebody joins one of the streams, he's just like, I want to play with those guys. Like he knew, like he knew we were streaming before we were streaming. He was just like sitting around waiting.
There's a basement there.
Look at all these rotting pumpkins. Is there going to be a spooky shadow monster underneath them?
What?
Stranger Things. There's pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
It's a There were rotting pumpkins in like the.
Yes, I know.
We just ran past them.
Oh. I didn't see them on my... Oh, there they are.
Confirmed. Stranger Things stole their ideas from Diablo 3.
3. Yeah.
They were just like one of the producers was like really happy in playing Diablo 3, and they're just like, yeah, man, rotting pumpkins. It had nothing to do with Halloween or the timing or the fall or anything.
Do. Oh.
Oh! I don't really know how exactly blinding a horde of zombies works. Because I don't really think they need the eyes. Like, I assume their eyes are messed up already. At least some of them. Like, some of the zombies will have messed up eyes. So, they're not really relying on their senses. Short sword.
Need more time.
These attacks sure are taking forever. Fuck.
What is?
My attacks.
I did see that they added a sweet like tier set this season for Paladin or Crusaders, Paladins.
Lol.
For Crusaders.
It's the same thing.
Because it's basically what is it? Blessed Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Blessed Hammer increases the damage of Falling Sword, and Falling Sword ends up reducing damage and cooldown for Provoke. So you just basically provoke everybody to you, Falling Sword them for the reduction in damage, and then kill them with hammers, which I'm all about. So it seemed like it was a pretty good set. I just don't know how well it's going to do on hardcore, because Provoke is always a bit of a gambit. Because you're basically saying, hey everybody, come and attack me. But if they're stronger than you, you might just be asking for death.
I gain new strength.
Oh boy, level 5.
Here's the key thing.
Aiden came to me
Yeah.
last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed,
I think this
hell
is
will
like
surely follow
between
his
level
way.
5 and 20 is the
Shadows
lull,
closing
where
on
you don't really
Tristan
have any
once
gear,
again.
so the enemies
But
are
like Aiden,
a bit
I'll get
stronger than
gone
they
before
are.
they fall.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel so much stronger, like they take so much longer to kill because you just don't have any good gear. And you can't really craft any gear.
They never have any good gear. Not ever. I guess we're not going in the underground pit.
No. Got a beeline straight for the boss.
Okay. Cathedral.
See if we can just... Let's see if we can get that, what is it? Like, complete the act in an hour.
Where the star fell.
I think I've only done it once. Yo! Gotta kill all the things up. Even though this is probably going to cost us the run. I think we should speed run. Spend 20 minutes killing all the zombies in a row.
I grow stronger.
I'm gonna go this way.
Sure. I'm support. Just follow behind.
Sure.
My name is Lactanan. I am a yogurt, and this is my story.
I went the wrong way.
Yep.
God
You
damn it.
chose poorly.
Damn it.
I chose poorly.
My name's Lactanan, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I lived only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
No, random NPC. Like, his transition into an undead was just super fast. Like, he's saying it's inside him, and I was expecting him to kind of explode with worms or something. Like the big guys, like the big bloated guys.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't. He's just like... He just becomes a zombie. It's a hell of a transition. Ugh! Carrying bags. Just proving how much they suck.
I used to be afraid of lightning specials. But then I remembered this isn't Diablo 2. Hey guys.
I need fury.
I guess I could have just did that at the start.
Did what?
Drop the
Break the-
chandelier on them.
The chandelier?
Yeah.
For that sweet additional boost of fire damage that doesn't actually set anyone or anything on fire.
Yep. They need to put invaders in this game.
What, like Dark Souls invaders?
Mm-hmm. Well, Diablo did it first.
Yeah, well, Diablo 2? Yeah,
Hostile.
2.
Well, no, Diablo 1 did it too. But you could do it. You could do it pretty much anywhere. Like, you could do it right beside somebody.
Yeah.
He'd be questing along with somebody, and then all of a sudden they just go hostile and kill you.
Not
Yeah.
enough fury.
You're gonna attack.
No. I'm gonna make you attack. While Mandus runs off looking for the exit.
Cool.
He's doing the job for us. He's a real hero. He's the real MVP for this.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to compare Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 because for me, it's almost like they're not even the same game. Like, they're in the same series. They're supposed to be in the same series, but I genuinely have no idea what the devs were doing for this game. And I really have a hard time. Like, I don't want to rag on devs because they can clearly do something I can't. Like, they made a game, right? It was a bunch of people that spent a lot of hours of their lives, and I never would have expected Diablo 3, no matter what version of it that came out, Like, I never would have expected it to be as good
cannot join
as,
my
say,
allies
the
until the
original
battle has
or, you know, Diablo 2 for me. Because it's hard to live up to the hype. Like, if you've got 10 years of waiting for a game, like, anything that they would have produced would have probably been a little disappointing. But the way the game plays itself, I don't even feel like it's the same kind of game. Like, we're running around, we get loot and stuff like that. Like, that part's the same. But, like, there are no skill trees. There are no, like, there is no PvP.
Yeah.
There is no, like, real trade or, you know, market or anything like that. Like, you know, there's no Stone of Jordan that, you know, is, like, the currency.
Yep.
Right? Like there's just none of that. All of those elements aren't there. There's no grind spots. Like, there's no sewers or bloody runs or
Yeah.
you know, power leveling in that kind of sense. So it's really frustrating. Because obviously people want this game to succeed.
And rescued Cain. All that stands between me and the mystery of the fallen star is the Skeleton King.
Yeah.
No, not for long indeed. Like, I don't know, it's just because there was so much flexibility to Diablo 2. Like, I could re-roll character after character after character. Even with the same class. Like, I don't know how many like sorceresses that I rolled or re-rolled, or necromancers that I rolled and re-rolled, because I wanted to change points or wanted to change you know, my talents or try a new build or anything like that. Like, you had to do that, so there was a reason to go out and get engaged with other people, do the runs, and like it was just a constant thing. Whereas in this game, it like, none of that really exists. I don't see that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Spent all night alongside the blacksmith.
They made some improvements on the game, but like,
yeah,
the combat in this game is a little bit slower than Diablo 2. I think Diablo is really ridiculously fast, but
yeah,
I don't know. I want them. They should have. There's some stuff that I think that they should have kept, like the difference between hardcore and softcore was like you had a better chance getting unique items.
Yeah.
Or just items in general.
And we're supposed
on hardcore. That should be
seasonal and hardcore. We're supposed to have a higher chance of getting like better items
than softcore. But
yeah.
there was always a larger softcore amount of people than there was hardcore, because I don't know.
Yeah, like I know that there's always going to be, say, like, more softcore players in general. It's the same thing with, like, you know, World of Warcraft and people that play on PvP servers versus PvP servers. Right? Like, the PvP servers, there are, what, last I checked, there's a handful, like, there's maybe, like, 3 PvP servers, but literally all of the PvPers in the game are on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then PvE, there's some pretty wide variations between, like, this is the Horde server and this is an Alliance server.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't go to a server like Illidan and play the Alliance. Because not only is it PvP, but it's like 90% Horde, so, I mean, unless you just really want to get your shit pushed in, that's exactly what's going to happen. Right? And maybe you do, I don't know. Like, play however you want to play, it's your money.
Yep. I don't know, I think that them removing the ability to be PKers in the game actually made this game a little bit more stale. Because at least you knowing that, like, somebody could come and kill you or whatever, it made the game a lot more thrilling to me.
Yeah, like, you'd be paranoid.
Yep.
If somebody joined the match, like, my first instinct in Diablo 2, like, if somebody was joining the match,
like, you get that tension.
I would go and look at their level.
Yeah, there is.
Is this person over level 9? Yes, no.
There's that amount of tension or whatever. There's even I get that sometimes in Dark Souls, but in Dark Souls isn't even as bad because you didn't have to worry about if you got killed, oh, you lose some souls or whatever. Like, it was worse in Dark Souls 1, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, you still had all your equipment, which is still a plus. In Diablo, like, you lost everything, which is that, I don't know, it made the game more exciting, and they shouldn't have removed it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I do remember, like, my very first, like, Dark Souls 1 invasion, I was like, this guy came in and he wasn't wearing, like, anything. I think he was I don't know, he was wearing, like, cloth or whatever, and for some reason... What is this?
Oh.
Yeah, for some reason, so he comes in and he's wearing cloth and he has a dagger, and I was wearing armor, and I had, like, just like the longsword or whatever, like, just whatever you started with, like a knight. And, he just absolutely destroyed me. And I was just like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. How did he manage to do so much damage? Because he killed me in 2 hits. And I didn't know about, like, backstabs or parries or anything like that at the time. I just thought, like, well, I'm wearing armor, so why did it deal so much?
Well, to me, for Dark Souls, that's what's broken about it.
And now I know, like if somebody's invading me, I don't fear the people that are wearing armor, I fear the people that aren't wearing any.
The only people that I really fear from Dark Souls are just the hackers. And that's it.
Snow and Orange Team. Go!
Like the cheaters.
The Goblin!
And the only thing that really pisses me off about Dark Souls is the invaders that run and hide behind other enemies or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's certainly frustrating. Like, if you're gonna invade and fight. Like, don't just invade and fucking... Alright, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this by having everything else killed. Well, no, like, you're not actually PvPing. You're not doing what you're supposed to do.
I don't know. I just take it as an admission of defeat. To me, that's what it is.
I couldn't beat you.
Yep, so I need help.
Yeah.
It is. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other thing that really bothered me in general about Diablo 3,
The ancients have
as opposed to Diablo 2, is the story itself. Like, it never made a whole lot of sense, and it was incredibly watered down and predictable. Right? Like, Diablo 2, you're going through the Wanderer and, like, following him, like, you're kind of piecing it together as you go. And the story just keeps getting progressively worse and darker, right? Like, the Wanderer goes through,
oh, yeah, okay.
The camp, and then, Andariel shows up in the monastery and everything's getting fucked up. So you're like, well, okay, well, I'll just help the sisters because it's evil and I'll fight it. And then you go through Act 2, and you learn more about the Herodrum and Tal Rasha and kind of the, what is it, like you get like the Herodic Cube and then the staff and everything else, right? And then you fight Duriel, and then you get into Act 3, and Act 3 is just where, like, everything just goes to hell. Literally to hell.
The thing that I never understood
Mephisto.
in Diablo 2 was, you're going up against Tal Rasha or whatever, like, you're trying to do... Tal Rasha locks himself in a room with Mephisto or whatever, right? I think that's the story of Tal Rasha. Rasha's actually was a priest or a pharaoh, I don't remember exactly.
Tal Rasha, I think, was Herodrum. Like, he was one of the Herodrum.
Yeah, he was the leader, or a leader.
Yeah.
And he put the Mephisto Soul Stone in his head and locked himself in a tomb.
No, it was Baal. It wasn't Mephisto.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because that's
but,
like
and then all of a sudden it's just like so you're doing all that stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, surprise! Here's this boss. His name is Duriel. I never knew how like this Duriel guy just like kind of like appeared. He's just in the story. I don't know. It was always weird.
Well, Andariel was kind of the same way. Like, Andariel was in the monastery, and you hear about her.
Well, she's she's one of the last things left over from Diablo 1, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, well, she was one of Diablo's like lieutenants. She was just like she was a lesser demon, but still like higher ranking, just like Duriel. Like Duriel was her counterpart. But yeah, Duriel was certainly a surprise because you don't really hear about him or anything, and then the staff ends up opening the door, and then you click on it and you lag. And if you're on hardcore, you basically shit your pants.
Who's strong enough?
Like this guy shows up because he could just one-shot you. Like if you weren't prepared for it, or like prepared with Rejuvi potions.
Yeah, well,
chug, like,
basically you run in spam. You just ran in spamming all your potions, so you know that you're gonna be alive, hopefully.
Yeah, like that you live. Sorry, I'm just putting on some gear. There. Snazzy. Yeah. And then what is it? The cinematic, like the Act 3 cinematic, where finally the Wanderer is gone. Like you see Mephisto, you see like this meeting, like living vicariously through Marius, as he watches like this horror unfold where like the primevals get together and the Wanderer basically becomes Diablo. Like the transformation's complete.
Well, he consumes them.
And then he leaves. Yeah, like he leaves. He goes to hell, and you're off to Act 4 in Pandemonium Fortress, just like, well, this is the last bastion of heaven. Time to go into the middle of fucking like the deepest, darkest pit of hell to fight Diablo and break the seal. And he shows up finally and just like completely annihilates you with his fucking fire circle. And if you don't have resistance, you're dead. But like they're really like there's no moments like that in this game for me.
I've gained new power.
Is this one-handed or two-handed? One-handed. Skills. Yeah. Like there are still oh shit moments, and it's not like I'm not gonna be, foolish enough to be like, oh, I haven't died ever in hardcore, because I have. Like, I can show you my, fallen champions roster. Maybe some other time. Although I think the funniest death that I had was just before fighting Zoltan Kuhl. Like we were doing the 2 portals before that, and it was like a yellow mob, and I was on a demon hunter. I think it was my very first character ever. Or no, because you had to play through the story on softcore, I think, and then you could do hardcore.
Yep.
So we did that. So yeah, it was my second demon hunter. And I just got completely annihilated because he was the one that returns damage. So it was Thorns and Arcane Orb. And I had dropped like my sentry and I was using rapid fire, not realizing that I was just killing myself. Super fast. And then it was the Arcane Orbs. And then I think, what was it? There was a necklace that allowed, instead of Arcane Orbs dealing damage, it healed you. So I put that on and wore it forever on my first Barbarian. And then that way, like, whenever I saw somebody with arcane, I just started laughing because I knew there was no way in hell they were going to kill me. And that got me farther in hardcore than I think, like, not any other character. Like, I think my monk and Aurelius, like my last crusader, they were probably the farthest that I've been. I haven't even cleared the game with Necromancer yet.
I must wait.
But yeah, this character was between the Paladin and Necromancer. Or why do I keep saying Paladin? Crusader and Necromancer. What do you mean not enough? Whatever. Use that. Switch this.
I grow in power.
And what? That doesn't make any sense. Put it on. Oh, you're not even better. I gotta go back to town. Gotta go back to town and break everything.
Yeah.
I can't go back to town.
Nah, man.
I don't have teleport yet. We get teleport after this. That's fine. Oh boy, provoke. Do I want to use it? Probably not.
Health return.
Yep, line. Oh, another legendary home.
What? I haven't gotten anything.
No?
Nope.
I might be able to trade the... Yeah. Here.
Yorick's crown.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it has a socket, so if you find a red gem, you can get more experience.
Yeah.
It won't be a lot, because the gems we're going to find right now are trash,
Crap.
but still.
Yeah.
They'll be hot garbage.
The crown must be in a different crypt.
Oh boy.
The crown isn't in a different crypt. It's on your head. Idiot.
Like when I'm looking for my glasses. And then I realize, like, I've been searching for my glasses for 45 goddamn minutes and they're on my face, and I've taken, like, as I'm searching, like, I've taken them off and, like, rubbed my eyes because I'm so frustrated, and then I put them back on and continue searching. I don't know if that's happened to anybody else, but if you wear glasses, yes, that's happened to me. That was when I first got them. Like, I just wasn't used to them at all. Grave diggers! Yee!
Oh.
Gate wound. Unspeakable terror.
I need fury.
Legendary axe. What's it gonna be?
Boop.
Oh. Chance to summon something when I kill things. Oh boy.
What is it?
Just a legendary axe that can summon ghosts or whatever.
Oh, it summons one of those guys from Act 3, I think. Yeah. Which I think is probably my favorite act in this game. So, instead of just shitting on Diablo 3, there were some things that I do think they did right with this game. Like in Diablo 2 with your skills, you did have to kind of like hotkey everything, and you could have had like 20 different skills.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know how like your hotkeys and everything were set up or memorized, I mean, the chance for you to die was there. Like it was just always there. If you pressed the wrong button, like you were fucked. Like you were just done.
Yep.
And this game really did fix that. I don't so much like, you know, having skills just be preset.
Yeah, everybody
And
has the
the
same.
rune system-
Well, everybody's a copy of each other. Like, I don't know. It's.
Yeah, like I do kind of like the rune system in the sense that it changes things, but if I had to choose between like the Diablo 3 system and like the Diablo 2 talents and synergy system, like I'd very much rather have the talents and synergy system.
Yep.
Because I feel like there's just more there to work with. But of course, it would be significantly harder to balance.
They can do it.
Hold on, I finally got my sweet hammers. Put these bad boys on. Yeah. I don't care about that. Actually, can I switch you for something better? Not really. That on. There it is, the door. What else did they do right?
Well, I like the way that they did heaven, and like it's not Tyrael.
Yeah.
Like they expanded on like the whole angels and demons and stuff. Like there's more of them. It's not just a smaller universe. They made it the universe a little bit bigger, or their world a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I did like the idea of expanding and kind of their interpretation of heaven and its creation and all that. Because we did see hell in Diablo 2, and we don't really see, like, we kind of see parts of it in Act 3 when we're going after Asmodean. Asmodean.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of see it, but that's more, like, that's, like, the crater, that's area, like, that's not anything else. Like, I wish that in this game we could have perhaps gone back to some of those same places that we were in Diablo 2.
Yeah, it needed to be a little bit. It needs to be a little bit darker, and I don't know how else to explain it, but less like arcade. Like I don't know, it's very games. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like this is kind of, they wanted to create, I guess, something where you could just like jump in, like do a couple runs or do, you know, whatever to get gear, and then leave. Because Blizzard, as a company, they kind of made it part of their business model to try and capture the casual gamer, basically. Which is why their requirements are never really super high. Like, you could probably play WoW on a computer that you built in 2000 still, if you want it. Maybe not that far. Not like new WoW on that, but you could play, you know, WoW on a computer that's like 10 years old. And not really have much to worry about. It may not be at the best graphics or, you know, whatever, but you could do it. What if I want to just salvage everything? Oh. Where did salvage all go?
I don't know. Maybe we'll appear later.
Yeah. Later as in when I'm not as bad. Oops. Axe, bow, dagger, sword. No, no hammers.
I'm back.
Time to test my skill.
Reaches. Gotta change those pants.
The ancients grant me strength.
Well, anything more. They did craft a pair of pants because I need them. Bring me my brown pants. This where we, yeah, you must have came in through there.
Yep.
But yeah, Act 3 I think was probably the most engaging act.
Not accept this.
In this game anyway.
I liked
Act 4 was okay. Act 5 was really long and drawn out. But
Yeah.
it had its moments.
I never really did Act 5 very much. I don't know.
No, like we did it for the sake of,
Not enough fury.
like we played it for the sake of beating the game, right? Like fighting, is it Mathiel? Mathiel? Or Nathaniel?
Malthael.
Yeah.
The M.
I remember almost dying to Adria. Because that was an interesting fight. But I don't know. I feel like they could have, with this game, you know, like there were a lot of storylines in the previous games. Like we're here in technically New Tristram. Like you're gonna tell me that none of the residents from Old Tristram were still hanging around? Like,
Yeah.
you could have included Bulls in the game. You know, people from Look the Lane, like you could have had what was the guy? The guy that takes you to Look the Lane, because he was a merchant. Like he could have been there. You could have had in Act 3, right? Because you're in kind of the barbarians' homeland. Like there could have been people from Haragoth that would have arrived, because the barbarians wouldn't have just picked up and left. Like they would have been doing something.
Yeah.
So you should have seen more of them on the battlefield. Like when you're running around and stuff like that, like there should have been barbarians everywhere just fighting. And then when you get to heaven and stuff like that, like you do see them in the background. Like the angels are fighting with like the demons and stuff like that.
I think
It's
that
just-
when they made this game, they scrapped a lot of the lore that they had for Diablo 2, like from the previous games, and they wanted to like start
Which
over.
sucks, because in terms of lore, like, I mean, Warcraft is just in a league of its own. I really love StarCraft because the stories and it's just a unique style of play. I can't even play competitively because I can't compete action per minute wise unless I'm just messing around or playing in the arcade, but I do really like the story. And then Diablo has probably one of the most interesting universes, and yet it's also like the most squandered of like the Blizzard, like of the Blizzard worlds, because there's so much that they could do with it, and they just don't. And it baffles me as to why that would happen. Like, fucking Overwatch has... Overwatch has, like, fucking more love and lore than what Diablo's got.
Yep.
And that... I don't know. It really bothers me, because this game... Not so much like Diablo 3, and I'm sure all of this has been said before by, like, you know, hundreds of other people. It's just, like... I don't know, like it's so disappointing to see such a good idea and concept basically be gutted or treated like a cash cow. Like I felt basically ripped off when I bought this game and I was playing it and like going through the story, and like you know, the first hour of playing, and I'm predicting like what's gonna happen, and I'm bang on for each part. Like,
I know
that shouldn't be happening.
It was really predictable.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't bad, but yeah, I was just like, this is what took 12 years? Like,
yeah.
You know, there is that criticism, but it's not like they were doing this in 12 years, so they were doing other shit.
Yeah, like it's not like they spent 12 years working on it every day or anything like that.
They just moved on. I don't know.
I feel like, I almost felt like, you know, they made Diablo 3, they released it for PC, and the PC was like the beta test before it was released on console.
How could you succumb to this?
And then the game was released on console, but it was never, I don't know, it was never very good. Like, I felt like they made Diablo 3 for the sake of continuing the trilogy, but they just never put their heart in it. Like, when Blizzard puts their mind to a game, they make an amazing game. Like, they do every time, and Blizzard's not exactly a shit company. They do listen to their customers. You know, people may disagree and be like, oh no, you're wrong, like, Blizzard doesn't give a shit about us, like, they're only in it for the money. Well, no, like, they do care. Like, I refuse to be so jaded in thinking that, you know, like these hundreds of people that have literally their lives attached to the work that they do. Like, I refuse to believe they wake up in the morning and they're just like, you know, sitting around their boardroom being like, yeah, how can we fuck over our customers? Like, how can we just make the most money, you know, as possible? Like, who cares about our customers? Who cares about that? Like, let's just make something because we know they're gonna buy it. And, you know, Diablo 3 is perhaps the first and only time I really felt like that's what happened. Like, like, it felt like they were making the game and going through the motions because they felt like they were supposed to. But, you know, maybe they had an idea or a vision for the game, and then during development they just lost it. But I mean, the formula is there. Run around in interesting worlds, playing with friends, picking up loot, right, to progressively get yourself stronger, with quests that are fun and engaging, right? Like, where's the quest that I go on that gives me skill levels, right, that I can put into a talent tree? Where's the quest that I can go on that gives me the option to socket an item? Or, you know, the quest that gives me, I was going to say like an epic, but like a legendary, like a solid, you know, upgrade, right? Like, where's the fun quest like that? Like, you know, I can go through these quests and play this game for the story, but at the end of the day, like, what is my reward really, right? The satisfaction of being able to make it somewhere. But I don't know, like, there really isn't much else. Like, you know, when I was playing, say, like, Act 1 Diablo 2, I wanted to help Charcy, the blacksmith, because she's like, yeah, so this is kind of the situation we're in, and I'm the town's blacksmith, but in, you know, my fleeing the monastery, I forgot my hammer, and if you bring that back to me, I'll make you a sweet item, right? Or I'll upgrade an item.
You know,
and you're just like, oh,
like
okay.
That. Like, they do, like, but they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, well, because the quest, you can look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go and get this person's hammer. Great. Like, you know, I'm just like a glorified errand boy. But if you paid attention to the text and you know, you were kind of playing and you know, if you're kind of the same sort of person, I guess, that I am, like, you read that text and you're just like, oh, man, this would really help them all out. Because if I can give her the hammer, then they're all better equipped, so they can make, you know, better armor or bows or fight off, you know, the armies, even though you end up going and killing Indariel anyway, which ultimately stops the threat. So the rest of it is just, you know, mopping up.
Defeat me.
Even when they showcased Diablo 3 for the first time to the world, it wasn't the exact game that came out. It was a little bit different.
What do you mean? I don't really remember when they showcased like.
No,
Diablo 3 when
you
it was
go
coming out.
like if you watch it, it'll make sense. Like the enemy, like what you had to do. You were doing stuff like in this, going against Skeleton King or whatever, and you meet up with other party members and stuff, and you fight like this big like Duriel type boss. And actually, at one point in the game, the Duriel boss like picks up one of the enemies and bites the guy in half and
Oh yeah.
throws it away or whatever and stuff. And it's like, that wasn't in the game. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So like, you know, stuff like that.
I remember it because it was scripted. Like that was a scripted scene that
Yeah, it
happened.
was. Yep.
Yeah, because they're never actually is. I think that was the boss in Act 3. The Siege Breaker, like it picks you up.
Well,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah, they took
the
that skin,
barbarian.
yeah. But the Siege Breaker does look like Duriel, except Duriel has like claw hand things.
Yeah.
A legendary helm again. It's the same helm as mine.
No, it's not the same. It might have better stats.
It has better stats.
Mine does. Well, if there were a monk in this game, I'd be able to give them a legendary. But there isn't.
Oh look, it's the stranger.
I don't know who it is.
It was you that.
You don't know who it is.
That I will take.
Our millions of viewers don't know who it is. Going back to New Tristram.
I have journeyed far to find that the fallen star was only a man. Who
But
is
what a
he,
man.
and why has he come?
It's all gotta go. Go, 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 go.
Everything must go.
Salvage that too. I still don't have bracers. It's really weird.
You still don't have bracers?
No,
Lol.
it's okay.
I've dug up
Where
my
I'm
hands
going,
to the bone to bring
I
you
don't
these
need
fine
bracers.
goods.
There we go. Oh boy.
Just keep giving me daggers. I'll be the. Yeah, yeah.
Tell me everything. Fully.
Goat.
Of course. I will.
Not the goat men.
I have some new. My goods are
gotta-
without equal. I've
I gotta
collected
just
them
change
from
the color.
all parts of this world.
Color
Did
of
you see that
this.
stranger next to old Kane?
Because it's actually killing me. Whoa. Why did my guy spasm?
I don't know.
There we go. Oh.
The Weeping Hollow.
Oh, that's right. We don't go to the boat yet. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is just there are parts that I feel like they really could have added to Diablo 3 to make it worth something when it first came out, but it was honestly like the first time I felt like Blizzard was just going for a mad cash grab. No.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I mean, it's fashionable just to like shit on Blizzard for this game, but
Yeah. I just wish that they.
It's not that it plays bad. Like it plays good. It's just there's so much there that was just wasted.
I think it's it just needs a little bit more attention.
Yeah.
But you know, like you could make the same argument with StarCraft too. They kind of like just ignored a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for World of StarCraft.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be awesome. I would play the shit out of that game. You have,
I think
like, instead of zones, you have planets you can go to. Like, you already have. Like,
I think that if
they
make a Diablo like adventure style game, like a Dark Souls, Zelda kind of game that's capable of multiplayer and hardcore loot finding and all that kind of stuff, I think that the game would do so much better. Than this one. So much better if they a Diablo, a Dark Souls style Diablo that's dark and gothic and stuff like that. I think would fucking do super good.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dark Souls in itself is already like a dark game.
Yeah, it is a dark game, but potentially, like if you compare Dark Souls to Diablo, like Diablo 1 and 2, Diablo is a darker game than Dark Souls. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
well, because I mean, I wonder if it's just like as time has gone on, we've become more accustomed. Like when we were younger, like Diablo 1 came out when we were younger, and playing it and going through like the cathedral and meeting the butcher and stuff like that, like it was scary because we'd never played a game that had like blood and gore and any of that. So that was all there.
Well, Dark Souls doesn't really have very much blood and gore if you think about it. Like they don't have brutal killing and stuff like that. They have backstabs, but there's not like blood splattered everywhere like Bloodborne. And even then, Bloodborne isn't really about gore. It has blood and stuff everywhere. It's not gory like the Silent Hill or Resident Evil type game.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's not that gory. It's just darker. It's just it's a dark fantasy.
Yeah, well, and it's got like a really neat world and Lovecraftian kind of enemies.
Well, Bloodborne, yes, it does.
Yeah, well, Bloodborne, not so much Dark Souls. Dark Souls does have like the odd kind of maybe grotesque enemy, but not a whole lot.
No,
like you're right about that.
Yeah. They're not really into the whole gore thing, which is fine. I'm not really into like gore and stuff like that in my game.
Something super gory,
but
like you're not.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Like gore for the sake of gore. Like sometimes it makes sense, like in a cutscene or something. If you really want to emphasize, like maybe the Evil Within has done this. I don't know because I haven't really played it yet. But
yeah, it's pretty gory.
Yeah, like if you I don't know. What I'm trying to say is there's a time and a place for it. Like if you want to build up like a monster as being devastating. Or somebody that should be intimidating or scary or whatever, then having gore makes sense. Yeah. Right? Or having them just like
you don't just do it just for doing it. That's
Yeah. Like in to kind of go back to like the very first Resident Evil, right? Watching we're going for the cast, we're done. We don't need that. Watching the real life cinematic on like 1997, 98 Resident Evil. Those fucking zombie dogs when they're chasing everybody in the forest, like I don't care if I was only like 14 and really shouldn't have been playing that game. Those zombie dogs were terrifying, and then when you start the game, you have like that that brief moment of stupidity where you're like, I wonder if I open this front door if the dogs will be there.
Back outside.
And then you open the door and you see the video of the dog like trying to bark and fight its way in or whatever. And I think it was the GameCube. Maybe it was in the original, but in the GameCube version, they could jump in. Like they get past you, and then you're kind of put in this oh shit position. Which if you're Chris, you have a knife. Like enjoy fighting a dog with a fucking knife.
Fury.
And if you're Jill, you're on easier mode. Actually, that's probably the one thing I didn't really like. Like, Jill was like playing as easy mode, and Chris was playing as hard mode, just because of the tools that you were given, and just starting with the weapon. Not that the handgun is, you know, the world's greatest weapon in fucking Resident Evil,
I need
but...
to go back.
And if you're good enough with a knife, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
I've
I'll be
gained
back, one
new
sec.
power.
Yeah. And 16. Oh boy. Oh, holier than thou. Consecration. I'm surprised this guy has stuck it out with us, but it is hardcore, so there isn't going to be like a whole lot of people to level with. I imagine we already missed the wave if this went live yesterday or the day Tuesday, I guess, whenever the season started. No. Sure. Not that I really have anything that's gonna matter. There. Ooh. Wait. I should probably help him so he's not just doing everything himself. Enjoy your free healing. See, this is one of the differences that I was talking about before between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Like, Diablo 2 minions that were electrified were actually somewhat terrifying. Like, you didn't really want to hit them just because they were going to be dealing so much damage. But in this game, it doesn't really matter at all. Azradan is... No, that should be a merchant, so they're probably going to be down this way. Ugh. Azradan! No. Watch it be in the middle of the fucking map. Never mind. Where's my... I'll show up eventually. I love how the minions in this game try and make themselves seem so threatening, as if I wasn't going to just, like, kill them in 1 or 2 hits. It's like they're trying so hard. Maybe. Probably not. Fucking eat all the hammers. All right, I'm gonna rant again. So this was also probably one of the biggest things that pissed me off. Every single villain in this game is basically a Disney villain. Like, there is no real threat from them. There isn't going to be any problems or anything like that. They don't even really stop you or slow you down or anything in any meaningful way. Like, they end up killing Cain. But that doesn't change the story at all. Like, there is no meaningful impact from his death. And Magda basically just, I don't know, it's very much like Arthas in Wrath of Lich King. Like, he shows up, taunts you, tries to make you feel inferior, and then you just keep showing up, keep pushing, keep breaking down like all of the defenses and everything, starting from like the outside and work your way until you're just basically taking him out at Ice Cream Citadel. And Magda and all of the bosses are the same way. Like, Magda, oh, you're never going to get the next sword piece. Get the next sword piece. Oh, you're never going to get, like, this next sword piece. Oh, while you were busy doing this, I was busy getting all the sword pieces. I sure outwitted you, but you teleport back to town. You wreck her. Cain dies, which literally is only mourned for, like, 30 seconds. And then Leah finds some determination to go and continue on in her journey with Adria. And then we're on to, like, the next quest where Belial, who's supposed to be, like, this sweet master of lying, who can't even fucking, like, fool anybody. You show up and you're like, oh, hey, it's the prince. Mm-hmm. That prince is probably evil, because that would be the obvious thing that would happen. He's sending us on a quest. Well, if you're Belial, why the fuck would you send people in the direction to find the things that would stop you? Or Asmodan, who's supposed to be like this really great, brilliant strategist, general, controlling the armies of hell, and all he can do is just like sit there and taunt you.
The power is so great that...
Like, I don't think there was a single strategy or trick or problem or anything that he did that was like memorable.
What do they want with your friend?
So yeah, I just all of the bosses in this game are pretty much Disney. Like, I'd almost rather there not be any story or them talking about it or anything. They're just, they show up, they taunt you, they do nothing, and then you kill them, and that's it. Like, Duriel fucking scared the shit out of you because he was just completely unexpected. Yep. Mephisto scared the shit out of you because he was a prime evil, and when you see him in that video through Marius, you're just like, that is somebody I don't want to fuck with. Diablo, you know, is going to be the boss of the game, so you can expect some kind of a challenge from him. But even Diablo in this game wasn't much of a challenge, if anything. The mechanics were interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like going into the Shadow Realm and beating yourself. Like, that's always an interesting mechanic, but every time I see it, I'm just like, fucking Ocarina of Time did it better. What are you guys doing?
Lead the way.
When you go to the Water Temple and you're fighting...
Zelda 2 did it the best.
I never beat Zelda 2, so I can't really speak to that.
The final boss is yourself.
Oh, there you go.
There you are.
What have you... What the tomes say of
the real Shadow Link.
Not encouraging.
Yeah.
You must be alive.
And why the fuck was Ganon laughing at you whenever you...
Because he was in the shadows, like, he was an entity, like, coming back to life, kind of thing.
The real boss of Zelda 2 is your shadow self?
The Shadow Link, yeah. That's the final boss of the game.
So... Okay, so I guess your dying allows Shadow Link to complete, I guess, his task and bring Ganon back to life?
Are these Alaric's people?
Like, is that what's happening in the game?
I think from Zelda 2, you're basically... you're collecting pieces or something like that to wake up Zelda, because Zelda's in a coma because of the battle or whatever from the first game. I think, from what I remember.
Yeah, well,
because you're just trying to wake her up. Ganon is dead in Zelda 2, and he's dead.
Okay.
So they're trying to like resurrect him, kind of thing. And if you get game over, him laughing or whatever is because he's He's alive.
He's resurrected. Okay, that makes sense now. Because I didn't start the Zelda series until Link to the Past. Like Super Nintendo, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Literally dumping all of my after-school hours into that game. I don't even remember most of that game now. I really should just play it again. I always remember the first 3 temples, right? Which I'm fairly confident I could probably speedrun. And then I would go into the Shadow World, I assume, and I would just be completely lost. The only thing I remember is...
There's 8 temples.
Yeah, which, again, so for a game that's a lot of content.
Yep.
Right? Like, and even then, Ocarina of Time had the same idea, because you had the 3 temples when you were younger, right? And then you get, what is it, the 7, you gotta get the 7 coins. It's always 3 or 7, like, you always have to collect 3 things, or you always have to collect 3 things, or 3 things or 3 things. You either collect 3 things, or you collect 7 things.
The world has changed much.
Yes, it's not.
I don't know
like it
why.
was.
It must be like a trope or just like a writing thing. But yeah, like going into A Link to the Past, like the first 3 I remember, and then after that, like I know where the temples are, but I don't really remember anything else. Like where to go, what to do. I think I roughly know which order you're supposed to go in.
You don't really need an order.
I guess if you
that was
have
a
like
thing.
the items.
Yep.
I guess you just need the items to allow you to complete it.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure the hook shot. Well, the hook shot's always like a key item in like every Zelda. But I don't know, because I didn't play. Like I played Link to the Past. I tried playing the one that was on the Game Boy, the one that you had, where
Link's
you
Awakening.
get the instruments. Yeah. Like I remember trying to play that. But I never owned it, so like I couldn't really get anywhere. I would just start on the beach, maybe kill one boss, and then it'd be time to go home after the weekend. That was it. And then Pokemon came out, and of course ruined my life for the next year. And then they just kept making more, and now we've got new Pokemon coming in to play.
New Pokemon?
Yeah, I think there's a new Pokemon, like a new 2 games that are coming out. Fucking Nintendo. Like, Nintendo's having, like, the most dynamite year. Like, the Switch came out.
Pokemon needs to stop with their, like, Pokemon tournaments and stuff like that, and they need to, like, make, like, a massive game for multiple people. Like, for mass audience of style Pokemon. Like, Pokemon, call it Pokemon World.
Yeah.
Or something where you just
I would
run around.
fucking play the shit out of that game.
Yeah, well,
yeah, if there was a Pokemon World, like a giant MMO, even like WoW style, where you could see like random Pokemon in the world or whatever, and capture and play and battle or whatever. And you could just explore every region that's ever existed with all of the Pokemon, and you can go on this epic quest of like trying to catch them all, with like legendaries that spawn like once every so often. Even if it was once a week, like a team could get them once a week by having a massive battle, right? Like I'm sure there's a way you could do that. That would be awesome if they could find a way to make that work.
If they can do it like with a phone, like Pokemon Go, if they can do that, they can do like an MMO style Pokemon game.
Well, yeah, and that was it. Like Pokemon Go came out, and like fucking everybody and their aunt was playing it for a week until they realized there wasn't really anything more to do. Other than just like walk around and just try and collect more, and you had like the first 150 or whatever, and I'm sure they've added stuff to it over time, but like for the most part,
they needed trading and they needed battles. That's what they needed.
I'm going ahead.
Yeah, like the gym battles were there, but it wasn't anything Like, it was just like, I'm just gonna hit you. Like, it wasn't like, let me choose these abilities and actually have, like, real strategy. Like, that wasn't there.
That's the only problem that I see about Pokemon making a massive game, is because they don't know how they would be able to do the combat.
We must get back to it.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, even that, like, fucking WoW already has, like, their version of Pokemon in the game.
yeah,
right?
but
Like,
that's
like,
what
you
I
could use that style of mechanics.
Yeah,
like,
where,
if they
like,
can do it, Pokemon can do it. Or Nintendo can.
I'll meet you back in New Tristram. We must tell Uncle Deckard what we
what
found.
they need to do is, like, say, like, if we have our Pokemon or whatever, and we choose to battle, the world around us continues on, but we're in like a linear battle, or what do you call those battles, like a Final Fantasy VII style battle, but the world is still continuing on around us. That's what they need to do. Like, that's how the game needs to play.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way that way you can give your commands to your Pokemon, right?
Yeah. No, I think I see what you mean now. I was confused for a second there. I was just like, what are you talking about? And then it makes sense now.
You can't do like a real-time combat with Pokemon in a like an MMO style. I don't think that it would work very well.
I need a ferry to Wortham.
No, I don't think it would work.
It would have to be like a...
I'm sure there would be like way too many technical issues you'd have to try and like troubleshoot through to make something like that go.
It would have to be like a chess style, like Pokemon, like how Pokemon is, like, you know.
Yeah, like it's a back and forth. It's turn-based combat. Which I'm fine. Like even in an MMO, you could do that, right? I guess like you would have to run up to somebody and engage them. Because I don't think you could have, like in the actual game Pokemon, you run in grass and then it pulls up, like, the battle kind of screen where it fades in, and then you know you're in combat, it shows you what's going on and whatever. And so, like, you know, there's all of that. So, yeah, listen, Nintendo. Make this a thing. Make a Pokemon World MMO. But yeah, in general, I feel like Nintendo, like when people talk about console wars, it's always like PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One. It's never about, and then PC's off doing its own thing because, I mean, PC just has everything. But Nintendo's had a fucking killer year. Like, if there's console wars, I feel like they've got to be killing it. Like, they got to be winning. Because, like, the Switch came out, that was very well received. They've had Legend of Zelda, right? Breath of the Wild, which I haven't played it. Like, I don't actually have the Nintendo Switch, and I really do want to get one. They've had Mario Kart. They've had Mario Odyssey come out, like, and all of these games are just amazingly rated. They had Splatoon, like the updated Splatoon.
I should have known. I must get back to Kane's.
So I don't know. Like, they've had like just what other games did they have?
It's your choice, Kane.
I don't know if they've had. Have they made Mario Party yet?
I don't think so.
No. Even still, though, like they've got like half a dozen solid games, and of course, sorry, Mario Maker. Like they've got half a dozen solid games.
And Mario Kart.
To my master,
no, I said Mario Kart.
Oh, you did.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, so 3 of those games are Mario related, but there's so much you can do with that.
Your rage is overwhelming, girl. You win this round, but if the sword cannot be mine, I'll claim the one it's bound to. In the end, the blade shall be mine.
Uncle, you can't die.
Oh, he can.
Stop that now. But there is one last thing I must do. The sword must be made whole. Just as I suspected, the sword is of the high heavens. The stranger is an angel. Heed the journal. The truth lies within.
Uncle Deckard!
Kane! No! And then you can never go back.
She won't.
And now for the worst part of this act. Fucking spiders.
Yeah, this act's kind of pointless.
Well, not the whole act, just this part.
This part, yeah, that's what I meant.
It's almost like they're like, hey, we need something to do.
We
to
need
go
more
from
content,
this to
make
this.
something up. Okay, nobody likes spiders, let's put it in. But nobody likes spiders. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. Oh look, a merchant.
You have nothing I want. Or do you? No, you don't. Or do you? Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo needs to fucking make an Earthbound game. That's what they need to do.
Again, just giving me just remake Earthbound in 3D. Done.
Yeah.
Fucking give me a 3D Earthbound, please. With
Just
super
remake
amazing
all the
graphics.
old games. Just if you don't know what to do, just remake all the old games. Like Mega Man X. Just start at Mega Man 1. Remake all of them.
So you can get a 3D version of Airman.
Yeah.
It'll be sure to blow you away.
No.
I'll be over here. Gonna switch this back.
What?
I gotta switch to Heavenly Strength because I found a two-hander that gives me more damage. That gives me all the damage. Look at it. A beefy blade.
Yeah.
A title. Who would win? An army of the damned and death itself, or two beefy boys? Yo!
Worth killing.
Come to me, spiders. I don't need to fear you. You need to fear me. Get scared of my sweet divine wrath.
There's
Divine?
like a new weapon.
Yeah. You mean weapons.
Yeah.
Not just one. Eee, bam!
Wait. That yell was pointless.
What? No, this whole thing is relevant.
Grow in power.
We're purging a giant cavern of spiders, even though we didn't really see any spiders outside of this cavern. So I just assumed they all lived there.
I saw a few.
I guess, yeah. But if you saw a few and I didn't, I probably just wasn't looking. I don't actually pay attention to anything on the screen, and that's probably why I die in hardcore.
Probably. I got an axe. I'm gonna use it. But I got a switch.
Not that we've really had any issues. Like, the closest I came to dying was the first 3 minutes of this fucking game. when I don't have any gear. And I'm just running around basically punching everybody. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make a hardcore character, and for a challenge, I will run through only punching people. I'll make him a barbarian too. And then leave him naked and see if I can get to max level just by punching everybody to death naked.
I'm just going to town for a sec. Forget it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep running around in this deep dank cave, trying to find that stupid door. I want my horse so I can at least travel a bit faster.
Yeah, man.
My mistress has accepted
me.
So I want to know. So we see that guy, right? We see him outside, and I just picked up a book where he's talking about like how he has to kill whoever threatens his queen. How so? So did he see us, run past us somehow, right? Scribble this for us to find and leave it randomly in the cave.
He could be talking about something else.
She sucks the innards from her victims.
I guess, yeah, like he could be talking about someone else,
It's
but
too late. I hear her.
I don't know.
Spider Queen is coming.
Spider Queen.
Spider Queen.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. Oh no, she ran into the cave. I like to imagine when the hammers spin, they're just smashing them in the face. I actually had that happen in real life. There was a spider along like my blinds, and it was like a deep, dark black spider, like a black color. It wasn't like normally how spiders are just like light see-through or like a green kind of color. This was like a dark black color, and it was huge. Like it was probably like one of the biggest spiders I've ever seen. And I'm looking at it wondering, where did you come from and why are you in my room? Like I assume it came from like the park or outside or whatever, and it managed to just like make it through somehow.
This horrible place.
Like it like squeezed through like my window or screen or something. Like I don't know if it just was hanging out, like crawling along the walls. Because my house is clean. Like I would like to have thought that I would see it if it was just traveling somewhere.
Yeah.
And normally I will, if I see a spider or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Or I'll kind of like escort it. I will politely and nicely escort it outside of my house. Just be like, go out to the balcony. Here you go, spider. Like, go on. See you later. But this one was too big, and that basic instinct of just like, this spider's gonna fuck you up kicked in. And I have a T-ball bat from when I was like 5. And that was pretty much it. Like I saw it, I'm like, I can't really escort you out and I don't want you in my room. So unfortunately, like this is just how it's gonna be. And of course I felt bad. Like I didn't want to kill it, it just I felt bad. But yeah, I did end up just like smashing it with the bat. and then in my head, because I've been ruined by playing video games forever, I had the like Earthbound KC Bat like critical strike noise play in my head. Just like smash. Marcus dealt 34 damage to this spider, and that's when it kicked in, where I was like, man, fuck, like, because I like in terms of house pests, I would much rather have a spider than say like centipedes or like bed bugs or potato bugs. I mean, I don't know of anybody that wakes up and they're like, man, you know what I want in my house? I want fucking bed bugs. Nobody does that. But in terms of pests, like spiders are probably like the best things that you could probably like that you could have. I don't really mind them in general.
I'm just noticing something on my stream. My title and stuff like that didn't change over.
What do you mean?
It
might be changed over at the end.
At the end?
Or like when you were typing into your dashboard, you changed the title and then you went to update information, right?
Nope, I guess not.
No?
Oh.
If you update it, by the time it's done and it saves the broadcast, it may be updated. Or it'll bug out. Like the other day when I was playing, I had changed the title, and for some reason it didn't update. Like it was saying, we were playing Dead by Daylight. It was saying that we were playing Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And when, like, one of the guys that was watching Hollow Truce, he had ended up saying, because I talked to him after, he was saying that the stream was titled properly for him. So it may not have updated for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it isn't updated in general.
Okay. It's weird.
Yeah. You'll find out at the end, and if it's not, you can change that. When you're dealing with the broadcast and stuff like that, you can still edit it. Like you can change the title, and it'll be fine. Staff is usually. Is either. Oh, there it is. Go, man! You can't really hear me over the game sounds? I can change that. Give me 1 second so I can...
I gain new strength.
Defend my body. Oh, God.
Yeah, you just need to turn the game down.
Fuck your clones, biatch! Yeah, my mic is where it normally is, so...
It's not, it's the game itself.
The game.
You gotta just
I
turn
can
the game
reduce
down.
the game volume, that's fine. I don't know if that'll be too quiet. No, that's probably not. That's probably fine. Okay. I find that there's just like a wide variance with the noises. Like if I'm fighting in combat, like there's obviously more noise that's gonna go about. And this is what I mean, like I don't understand why the audio changes in general.
Yeah. Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Two beefy boys. That's what the problem
I
is.
don't know. I'm sure it should probably be a bit better now.
Need more time.
Yo! Oh, it's arcade. I have a reason to worry.
Where are you? Oh, there you go.
I jumped up.
Still recharging. This will be a good battle.
I might actually have to use some abilities here.
Well, that was dumb.
I hear a treasure goblin.
Need more time.
Yeah. No, come back. Take me to your world. Do it. Oh. He didn't even drop anything.
He dropped some stuff for me, but it's not very good.
But I have to go back and...
I am returning to town.
Okay, I have to go back.
Did you get hit?
Yeah. I need to go back. Goatman sitting there. Not on my watch, you don't. Do, 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 do. Take my